Alī Imādu d-Dīn Nasimi, often known as Nesimi, was a 14th-century Azerbaijani Turkmen Ḥurūfī poet, known mostly by his pen name of Nesimi. He composed one divan in Azerbaijani, one in Persian, and a number of poems in Arabic. He is considered one of the greatest Turkic mystical poets of the late 14th and early 15th centuries and one of the most prominent early divan masters in Turkic literary history. Life. Very little is known for certain about Nesimi's life, including his real name. Most sources indicate that his name was Imadaddin, but it is also claimed that his name may have been Ali or Omar. It is also possible that he was descended from Muhammad, since he has sometimes been accorded the title of Sayyid that is reserved for people claimed to be in Muhammad's line of descent. Nesimi's birthplace, like his real name, is wrapped in mystery. Some claim that he was born in a province called Nesimi, hence the pen name, located either near Aleppo in modern-day Syria, or near Baghdad in modern-day Iraq, but no such province has been found to exist. There are also claims that he was born in Shamaki, which is mostly likely because his brother is buried in Shamaki, Azerbaijan, according to the Encyclopedia of Islam. An early Ottoman poet and mystic believed to have come from Nesimi near Baghdad, whence his name. As a place of this name no longer exists, it is not certain whether the laqab should not be derived simply from Nasim zephyr, breath of wind. That Nesimi was of Turkoman origin seems to be fairly certain, although the Sayyid before his name also points to Arab blood. Turkish was as familiar to him as Persian, for he wrote in both languages. Arabic poems are also ascribed to him. From his poetry, it's evident that Nesimi was an adherent of the Ḥurūfī movement, which was founded by Nesimi's teacher Fazlullah Arabadi of Arabad, who was condemned for heresy and executed in Alanya near Nakhchivan. The center of Fazlullah's influence was Baku and most of his followers came from Shirvan. Nesimi became one of the most influential advocates of the Ḥurūfī doctrine, and the movement's ideas were spread to a larger extent through his poetry, while Fazlullah believed that he himself was the manifestation of God. For Nesimi, at the center of creation there was God, who bestowed his light on man. Through sacrifice and self-perfection, man can become one with God. Around 1417, as a direct result of his beliefs, which were considered blasphemous by contemporary religious authorities, Nesimi was seized and, according to most accounts, skinned alive in Aleppo. A number of legends later grew up around Nesimi's execution, such as the story that he mocked his executioners with improvised verse and, after the execution, draped his flayed skin around his shoulders and departed. A rare historical account of the event, the Tarikh-i-Halab of Ahmad ibn Ibrahim al-Halabi, relates that the court, which was of the Maliki school of religious law, was unwilling to convict Nesimi of apostasy, and that the order of execution instead came from the secular power of the emir of Aleppo, who was hoping to avoid open rebellion. Nesimi's tomb in Aleppo remains an important place of pilgrimage to this day. Poetry. Nesimi's collected poems, or divan, number about 300, and include ghazals, kashidas, and ruba'is in Azerbaijani, Turkish, Persian, and Arabic. His Turkish divan is considered his most important work, contains 250 to 300 ghazals and more than 150 ruba'is. A large body of Bektashi and Alevi poetry is also attributed to Nesimi, largely as a result of Ḥurūfī ideas' influence upon those two groups. Shah Ismail I, the founder of Safavid dynasty in Iran, who himself composed a divan in Azerbaijani Turkic under the pen name of Kartai, praised Nesimi in his poems according to the Encyclopedia of Islam. His work consists of two collections of poems, one of which, the rarer, is in Persian and the other in Turkish. The Turkish divan consists of 250 to 300 ghazals epistles and about 150 quatrains, but the existing MSS differ considerably from the printed edition. No scholarly edition has so far been undertaken, but a study of his vocabulary is given by Jahangir Garamanov of Nasīmī Divan and Lexikizi, Baku 1970. The Persian divan has been edited by Muhammad Reza Ma'ashik Shadai Darband. Divan-I Imadaddin Nasimi, Tehran 1370 sh. 1991. One of Nesimi's most famous poems is the Gazelle, beginning with the following lines: Men siga iki kafhan, men bu kafhana sigma sam gavarila mekan menum, kavnu mekana sigma zam. Both worlds can fit within me, but in this world I cannot fit. I am the placeless excellence, but into existence I cannot fit. The poem serves as an excellent example of Nesimi's poetic brand of Hurufism in its mystical form. There is a contrast made between the physical and the spiritual worlds, which are seen to be ultimately united in the human being. As such, the human being is seen to partake of the same spiritual essence as God. The phrase Lamekan, or the placeless, in the second line is a Sufi term used for God. The same term, however, can be taken literally as meaning without a place, and Nesimi is also using the term to refer to human physicality. In his poem, Nesimi stresses that understanding God is ultimately not possible in this world, though it is nonetheless the duty of human beings to strive for such an understanding. Moreover, as the poem's constant play with the ideas of the physical and the spiritual underlines, Nesimi calls for this search for understanding to be carried out by people within their own selves. This couplet has been described in different pictures, movies, poems, and other pieces of arts. Some of Nesimi's work is also more specifically Hurūfī in nature, as can be seen in the following quatrain from a long poem. Uzunu mendan nihan et megdilisan etmigal, gozlarum yasan revan et megdilisan etmigal berqi nesran uzre miskans ulfunusen dajadib, asikibik sanaman et megdilisan etmigal. Seeing that moon I rejoiced, I made of my eyes a cup for its wine. I went on Hajj in pilgrim's garb. I called Faz and Lam by the name Truth. In the quatrain's last line, Faz and Lam are the names of the Arabic letters that together spell out the first name of the founder of Hurufism, Fazlullah. As such, Nesimi is praising his sheikh, or spiritual teacher, and in fact comparing him to God, who is also given the name Truth. Moreover, using the Perso-Arabic letters in the poem in such a manner is a direct manifestation of Hurūfī beliefs insofar as the group expounds a vast and complex letter symbolism in which each letter represents an aspect of the human character, and all the letters together can be seen to represent God. Nesimi is also considered a superb love poet, and his poems express the idea of love on both the personal and the spiritual plane. Many of his ghazals, for instance, have a high level of emotiveness, as well as expressing a great mastery of language. Uzunu mendan nihan et megdilisan etmigal, gozlarum yasan revan et megdilisan etmigal berqi nesran uzre miskans ulfunusen dajadib, asikibik sanaman et megdilisan etmigal. Should you want to veil your face from me, oh please do not. Should you want to make my tears flow, oh please do not. Should you want to lay your hair of musk atop the rose, and leave your lover destitute, oh please do not. Legacy. Nesimi's work represents an important stage in the development of poetry not only in the Azerbaijani language vernacular, but also in the Ottoman divan poetry tradition. After his death, Nesimi's work continued to exercise a great influence on many Turkic language poets and authors such as as Fuzuli Khatai, and Pir Sultan Abdal can be counted among his followers. Nesimi is venerated in the modern Republic of Azerbaijan, and one of the districts of the capital city, Baku, bears his name. There is also a monument to him in the city, sculpted by team Offanai Zanilov. Furthermore, the Institute of Linguistics at the Academy of Sciences of Azerbaijan is named after him, and there was also a 1973 Azerbaijani film, Nasīmī, made about him. The 600th anniversary of Nesimi's birthday was celebrated worldwide in 1973 by the decision of UNESCO, and representatives from many countries took part in the celebrations held both in Azerbaijan and in Moscow, Russia. Memory. The movie dedicated to the poet Nesimi by Azerbaijan Film Studio. Various places are named in honor of Nasimi. The Nasimi Institute of Linguistics is part of the Azerbaijan National Academy of Sciences. There is a urban district in Baku. A Baku metro station is named Nesimi. The urban middle school number 2 in Balakan, Azerbaijan is named for Nasimi. There are Nesimi streets in Agjabedi, Kudar and Baku. There are villages named Nasimi in Bilasuva and in Sabirabad regions, as well as Nesimakend in the Sartli region of Azerbaijan.